Of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
It's the biggest game of the season for a Tar Heels football team that fans still have a lot of questions about. Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Joshua Dolgoff.
And I'm Caitlin Schmidt. Thanks for joining us. But before we get to football, let's talk soccer. After suffering a second loss for the season at home this last weekend, the UNC women's soccer team traveled to Syracuse last night in search of a bounce-back win. It was a quiet first half for both teams until the 32nd minute when freshman Tori Della Pruta entered the game and just seconds later was able to sneak the ball into the net to put the Heels up by 1, leading into halftime. Even without elite defender Sam Meza on the field, the Heels were able to shut out Syracuse on the road to secure their first conference win of the season, 1-0. The Heels will return to Dorrance Field on Sunday to face Boston College at 1 p.m.
North Carolina welcomes Notre Dame to Kenan Stadium tomorrow in the Tar Heels' first home contest since late August. UNC comes into the game boasting a perfect 3-0 record, while the Fighting Irish are fresh off their first win of the season. Junior quarterback Drew Pine will be making his second career start for Notre Dame and will look to lead the Fighting Irish to their second straight win. North Carolina is fresh off its bye week, and with the return of wide receiver Josh Downs and hopefully Antoine Green, UNC's offense is looking to lead the Tar Heels to their first win against Notre Dame since 2008. Kickoff is set for 3:30 p.m. The defense has been the primary concern for the Heels in the past few seasons, but 2 weeks ago in Atlanta, the unit stepped up. After surrendering 40 points in the fourth quarter against App State, the Tar Heels defense shut out Georgia State's offense in the game's last 15 minutes. Ball awareness was the difference, but now the Heels are facing their highest quality of opponent of the year. And Gene Chizik's group will have to be solid against both the run and the pass for UNC to come away with a win. For a more deep dive on UNC's defense and how they can potentially turn it around, let's go to football analyst Jay Banzette for more. Jay?
That's right, Joshua. The Carolina football team faces its toughest test, at least on paper, thus far tomorrow against Notre Dame. The Irish are playing without their starting quarterback and coming with a 1-2 record, but they have two elite playmakers on offense to help out their back quarterback. Let's take a look at how I think they'll try to attack the Tar Heels defense and how G. Chizik's group can rise to the occasion. So the first thing that Notre Dame is going to do, everything they run is based off of the simple inside zone play. So offensive linemen, instead of the usual gap scheme where they move directly down the field, you're going to see them move laterally, either to their left or their right, depending on the play call. And they're trying to move their gap down the field laterally so that the running back can find the gaps that he likes the most and go through it. So we'll start here.
Junior wide receiver Josh Downs is back and ready for action against Notre Dame after being out for the Tar Heels' past 2 games. Downs went down with a left knee injury late in the first game of the season against Florida A&M after scoring 2 touchdowns. He was able to return to practice this week and will be a huge asset for the Tar Heels. He set the program record for receiving yards and catches as a sophomore last season and was named to the first team All-ACC. So there's no doubt that his presence on the field will be noticed. For more about Carolina's electric offensive onslaught, let's go to analyst Bella Geskos. Bella?
UNC's offense has been impressive. Drake May makes you forget that he's a redshirt freshman because he's completed 74% of his passes for 930 yards in his first 3 starts. His ability to beat defenses with improvisation, completing off-balance throws, and his spreading the ball among his receivers has led to May's 11 touchdowns to 7 different players. Let's take a look at a few. All right, so Drake May has thrived under pressure, which is just under 44% of the time. Amid the heat, he still completes 75% of his passes. All right, so here we see the right tackle beaten. He's coming off the side, applying pressure, made pump fakes to allow receiver J.J. Jones to get some necessary space to get his first career touchdown. Next up, we see, again, another pressure. App State's going to come in, blitz, and we're going to see D.J. Jones over here run down, find a little bit of an opening in the flat. So they see the blitz, pressure comes immediately. He sees the flat, D.J. Jones gets open, and then runs it in for a 42-yard touchdown. Right here, they're playing man-to-man on ball, so no one's there to cover D.J. Jones, and also they're blitzing. So he's wide open, runs right on in for a 42-yard touchdown. And we all know how the App State game ended up. Even though Drake May's impressive hot start to the season we have to acknowledge Notre Dame's defense. UNC has the 5th best offense, but Notre Dame's defense is more talented than we've seen their previous opponents. Even to a shaky start of their season, Notre Dame, in their season opener against Ohio State, held the Buckeyes to their lowest yards per attempt since the 2020 national title game. But the deciding factor of this game will be pressure. Can Notre Dame successfully get to Drake May? Against Cal, Notre Dame recorded 6 sacks and pressuring Cal's QB on 40% of his dropbacks. Here on a 4-10, Cal's QB drops a little far back, but that doesn't matter because without even a blitz, their front four applies the pressure. Senior Isaiah Fauski gets his 2nd sack of the season and helps the Irish complete a win at home. Again, very next drive. Notre Dame doesn't even need to blitz. Cal's front four applies enough pressure because they're so dominant. So you see the pocket just collapses. The quarterback does a good job of not getting a safety and getting out of the end zone. And we'll see it again. Notre Dame's front four is just too good, and that will be the name of the game against Drake May. Will he thrive or will he get a little uncomfortable? Again, their front four, run right on in, collapse the pocket. That is the game plan against UNC. So will Notre Dame prompt Drake May to be careless with the ball? 2 things to keep in mind. 1, Carolina will have wide receivers Josh Downs and Antoine Green available, which should help open up the fields for May. And finally, Notre Dame's defense has yet to have a takeaway this season. Will this be the game to do it? To talk more about this weekend, we welcome back analyst Jay Banzit and wide receiver J.J. Jones. All right, so JJ, what worries you the most about Notre Dame's defense?
By far, their front 7. Notre Dame's front 7 has always been good in the past few years, especially this year. You know, they got number 8 in the middle of the field. He's a great player, big guy, knows what he's doing. And their front 7 really knows how to get to the offensive backfield.
So, JJ, y'all played in week 0. I've already played 3 games, but what comes to playing in week 0, you got an extra bye week. Had it last week, so you haven't played in 2 weeks. How did the extra bye week, especially for an opponent like this, really help you guys prepare?
Help us out a lot, honestly. You know, we got a lot of guys that got banged up. It gives us a week off to recover, get our bodies right. And especially football standpoint, it gives us 2 weeks to watch film on these guys. You know, they just played Cal last week, so it allows us to watch their game. And then while we're, bye week getting ready for our game against them, they're still playing. So it gives us a lot of time to game plan against them, and it just helps us out tremendously.
How does the return of Josh Downs and Antoine Green help the offense?
Oh, it helps out a lot. It opens up the offense. You know, Antoine, Josh, they're big, productive guys, 2 All-American guys in my opinion. You know, they're going to spread out the field, and then we got a lot of young guys still playing at receiver that can allow Drake to just thrive in this game, which is going to help us out really a lot.
So you played them 2 years in a row. What's different about Notre Dame's secondary from a wide receiver perspective? What's different about their secondary this year, and how do you plan to attack it?
I feel like they're just a little bit younger than last year, a little bit more inexperienced. The past few years, Notre Dame's secondary has always been great. That's a standpoint that their Notre Dame defense always has. And, we're just going to attack them in their zone coverages, man coverages, find open spots just for us to, have a great game and just go out there and we'll get the win.
That's right. JJ and the Tar Heels kick off tomorrow at 3:30 at Kenan Stadium. Let's fill it up and give them the best home field advantage they've had since the pandemic. Caitlin?
As the Tar Heels prepare for Notre Dame, let's take a look back at the last time these 2 teams met. It was the Sam Howell show in South Bend last year. The star UNC quarterback carried the Tar Heel offense as he ranked up more than 300 passing yards and 100 yards rushing. Ultimately, though, the Tar Heels' high-powered offense just wasn't enough to keep up with the 11th-ranked Fighting Irish, as they fell 44-34. The Tar Heels' most recent win against Notre Dame came more than a decade ago in 2008. Cameron Sexton, Sean Drawn, and Hakeem Hicks led Carolina to victory. UNC only has 2 wins in the series against Notre Dame in 22 meetings. So let's see if Drake May and the Tar Heels have what it takes to get number 3 or the 3rd win against the Irish.
As students are growing in excitement for the big game, UNC has made an update to its student football ticket policy. As normal, students will enter through gate 5 with a valid UNC One card and student ticket. These students will receive a wristband giving them access to the student section. Anyone without a wristband won't be allowed in the student section. The men's soccer team is looking to get back into the win column with a victory on Saturday at Notre Dame. The Heels are coming off a disappointing tie with UNC Wilmington. Despite its 18 shots, 6 of which were on goal, Carolina was unable to score. Having tied with Duke and Durham last week, UNC is in need of a win. What will determine if the team can get this victory is if the Heels can finish the numerous chances they create.
The undefeated Carolina field hockey team is hoping to keep the streak going, hosting the Wake Forest Demon Deacons this afternoon. The Tar Heels come into the game victors of their last match against number 4 Louisville. Senior forward Erin Matson is leading the way with 7 goals and 2 assists on the season. Right behind her is freshman superstar Ashley Sessa with 6 goals and 2 assists. The Heels have 4 straight shutouts and look to stay dominant as ACC play ramps up. The Carolina women's golf team was outstanding at the Memorial Invitational in Texas. For the first time since 2017, 3 UNC golfers, Kayla Smith, Krista Iskisa, and Krista Yunkari, finished in the top 5. Smith led the group, finishing 9 under, enabling her to take home her first collegiate tournament championship. She's the first to medal in the program since 2018. The women take another swing at victory October 10th at the Ivy League Intercollegiate in New Jersey.
As we wait for men's golf to tee off on Sunday, we can celebrate former Tar Heel Davis Love III being named the U.S. captain at this year's President Cup. The tournament will pit a team of golfers from the United States against an international side of golfers. The American team features 5 of the world's top 10 players, including world number 1 Scottie Scheffler. The team will face off against the likes of former Masters champions Adam Scott and Hideki Matsuyama as the U.S. look to defend its 2019 win. Former Diamond Heels are taking big swings in the minors. Dodgers prospect Michael Busch hit his 31st homer of the season and 20th for Oklahoma City. Minnesota Twins affiliate Aaron Sabato is also strong with his bat. He's up to 22 home runs. And Danny Serretti hit a 3-run rocket over the right field fence for the Detroit Tigers minor league team and his 3rd bomb as a pro. The way these guys are performing, it would be no surprise if they're called up to the show very soon. UNC athletes garner a lot of attention from their on-field performances, but many fans tend to wonder what college athletes' lives are like off the field. One social media video sharing app has turned sharing about ourselves into a national phenomena, and that includes athletes. Hunter Caparelli with more on the story.
If there was one positive takeaway from the COVID pandemic in 2020, it was the abrupt emergence of the video hosting service, TikTok. Utilized for various purposes, UNC college athletes have TikTok to their fullest potential.
I like the dances. It's just fun to hop on new trends and just see what's out there. And also just endorse myself and, build my platform.
UNC athletes have participated in a wide variety of different types of TikTok videos, including but not limited to team dances, providing advice to younger athletes, showcasing days in the life of a UNC athlete, and viral TikTok trends.
I remember last year I made a day in the life during the spring, and that got about like 500,000 views. And then I made a dance. It was media day. We all had our uniforms on. And that got like 1 million followers on my friend's account, but it got posted everywhere, so that was really cool.
A few UNC athletes have even been lucky enough to have their own TikTok videos go viral on sport networks such as Bleacher Report and Barstool Sports.
I first started making TikToks just for fun because I enjoyed having a platform that gave my teammates and I a reason to do silly dances or cool trick shots. But since my platform has started to take off and I've actually been able to profit off of it, I've put a little more effort into it.
Making TikToks with teammates has also turned out to be a great way to get closer and build chemistry off the field.
Yeah, I think it kind of creates like a fun atmosphere. Like obviously there's like the serious side of TikTok where you are like promoting field hockey or like posting drills, etc. But also it's like fun to get together with your teammates before a game and like crank out a dancing one. And I think it gets everyone like pretty connected.
We can only imagine the TikTok ideas UNC athletes have on the back burner. This is Hunter Caparelli reporting.
Caitlin, we know that Coach Mac Brown has those dancers, but we cannot forget about our old friend Roy Williams.
I know. I feel like Roy started all this. Like the shimmy shake that he gave after the big win last year went viral.
You know the thing, though? I think we can do a little bit better. That does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
Check us out on social media during the long weekend for updates about an exciting weekend in Carolina athletics.